Awesome. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk just started a hostile takeover of Twitter. So, here's the thing, right? As you all know, Twitter is a public company. They're on the stock market, they're on the US stock market, they're on an exchange, people are trading up, down, left, right. But I just saw this very interesting thing, and I'm just going to share my screen with you. Check this out. This is the Twitter stock price today. It's like again, if you have distribution, you can create all sorts of chaos. And I'll tell you why this happened today. Why the stock price looks like a U in one day. I'm going to show you all of it. Here is why. So on Twitter, Elon Musk put out a post saying, I made an offer. And he puts out a link. Now let's go through this link and see what exactly is going on. United States Securities and Exchange Commission. Elon Musk put out, an issuer. He's put out, a letter. Okay, I'm going to ignore all this. This stuff is all not important. This stuff is not important. All is useless. All right. Exhibit B. This is the important part. I'm just going to zoom in for you guys. Let's see if the chat is fine. Exhibit B. Let's see if the chat is fine. Awesome. Yeah. Brett Taylor, chairman of the board. And this is Elon Musk saying this. I invested in Twitter as I believe in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe. Which is fair. I actually think he believes that. And I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy. He says, hey guys, free speech is important. Twitter's been kicking people off the platform. So, I want to invest in a platform that has free speech. However, since making my investment, and this is the interesting part, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve this societal imperative in its current form. Remember, this is a shareholder of Twitter that has 9.2%, 9 or 9.2%, publicly stating, because he's put this entire message on Twitter saying that this company will not thrive. Imagine a company with the kind of size, the number of shareholders that Twitter has. If somebody this large in the company is saying, boss, this company is not going to work, that is a big loss of confidence. And he says, Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company. He says, hey, we're public. I want to kind of take it private. As a result, I am offering to buy 100% of Twitter for $54.20 per share in cash. That's 54.20. As you can see, there's 420 in that. Classic Elon Musk. A 54% premium over the day before I began investing in Twitter, and a 38% premium over the day before my investment was publicly announced. So he's basically telling all the shareholders, okay, boss, I want to buy this company. I'm giving you all 54% increase in, whatever the stock value is. My offer is best and final is my best and final offer. And if it is not accepted, I would like to reconsider my position as a shareholder. Basically, and this is what a hostile takeover is, right? Where you are essentially giving an offer. People might not want the offer. The management of the company might not want the offer. It's an unsolicited offer. And Elon's saying, take it or leave it. And here's the thing, right? And here's the thing you all need to understand. He is saying that, boss, if you don't let me buy Twitter, I'm going to not invest in Twitter. I'm not going to buy 10% of Twitter. You know what's going to happen when Elon Musk says this? The stock's going to crash. So Twitter doesn't have a choice. Either they get a 54% premium, all the shareholders, or the stock fucking crashes. He's literally holding this entire public stock hostage on a big wide forum with, God knows, millions of people looking at this tweet and 361,000 people liking it. Like, that's the thing, right? When you have influence, when you have that kind of distribution, you have every company, any company you enter by the balls. You can do anything. And I've heard of, certain Indian companies doing this. I'm not going to take names, but to see this done so publicly is crazy. And in the ending, he says, Twitter has extraordinary potential. I will unlock it. Okay? Just give me a second, guys. Let me just pop this chat out. Yeah. Sorry. Awesome. We're back. Okay? And then He says more. He adds a script added via text, sent via text. As I indicated this weekend, I believe that the company should be private to go through the changes that need to be made. He doesn't specify exactly why it needs to be private, but he says, boss, as long as you're a public company, I can't fix this company. I need it to become private so that we can manage it, behind closed doors, where we don't have to kind of put out an earnings call every few quarters. After the past several days of thinking this over, I have decided I want to acquire the company and take it private. By the way, believe it or not, Elon Musk has done exactly the same thing with Tesla. He didn't start Tesla. He acquired a company and kind of ran it, right? So this time he's doing it at a much larger scale. Okay? I am going to send you an offer letter tonight. It will be public in the morning. Literally just said, I'm going to give you an offer letter. It's going to be public. Are you available to chat? And then he says, best and final, I am not playing the back and forth game, which means he's like, I don't want to negotiate. This is my final offer. It's like a kid throwing a tantrum, right? This is my final offer. Take it or leave it. If you don't like it, you can leave. I have moved straight to the end. Usually in any business deal, right, there's a negotiation. And the way negotiation works is I say something, you come back with an offer, I come back with an offer, we go back and forth, it takes a few weeks. Like every deal Avalon B2B closes today, the Scenes B2B side closes today, we go back and forth for about a month, right? We never go to the end and say this is the final pricing. It's always like a negotiation. But Elon Musk says, I've moved straight to the end. It's a high price and your shareholders will love it. It's just like, boss, this is a good price. I don't want to negotiate. If the deal doesn't work, and this is a very important part, right? If the deal doesn't work, given that I don't have confidence in management, nor do I believe I can drive the necessary change in the public market as a public shareholder, I would like to reconsider my position as a shareholder. I can guarantee you the stock will crash if Twitter says no. And it's going to crash pretty hard. And here's the thing, right? As CEO of Twitter, and Parag is not the CEO who is also the founder, right? He's just a CEO. He has to do what's best for his shareholders or stakeholders. This is why I keep telling people, right? Like everyone wants to get like public involved when they just start a company and, do a Kickstarter or a crowdfunding. I always tell people it's the worst idea because, the public has you by your balls. You have to do what's best for them, and sometimes what's best for them might not be best for the team and everything that happens inside the company, it might not be best for. So Elon Musk says, take it or leave it. He knows that if they leave it, it's going to crash. This is not a threat. Firstly, I personally think this is a threat. It's worded like a threat, right? Even though it's pretty polite, it's still a threat. This is not a threat. It's simply not a good investment without the changes that need to be made. And those changes won't happen without taking the company private. My advisors and my team are available after you get the letter to answer any questions. There will be more detail in our public filings. After you receive the letter and review the public filings, your team can call my family office with any questions. This is a hostile takeover, where a company that doesn't want to be bought is essentially being forced by one of its shareholders to be bought, with the threat that if in this case, that if you don't buy or if you don't let me buy this, I am going to go crash the stock market. This is an open, like he might have, I mean, he can't do it, but he might as well have just written it here saying, I want to crash the entire public market or in Twitter's context if you guys don't buy. So imagine the CEO, right? Like imagine Parag now. He has to listen to shareholders who want him to sell, because for shareholders, a 54% premium, especially shareholders, like Twitter has really large shareholders, right? They have, let me just pull out Twitter shareholders. I think they have Vanguard and BlackRock. Really big firms, huh? These are guys that actually run, kind of run the world. People think it's the Rothschild and stuff that run the world. That's not true. It's mostly these firms. One is the Vanguard Group, then there's Morgan Stanley, then there's BlackRock, and then there's State Street Corp, right? And by the way, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, Vanguard Group, I think they're also in Facebook and few other social companies, right? They control the world's messaging, and they control many other companies. So these guys basically own the world. And imagine a Vanguard, right, that has 70 million shares, Twitter shares. Imagine them. Suddenly their price of those shares are doubled. Imagine Parag having to speak to the Vanguard Group or whoever the representative from the Vanguard Group and say, yeah, actually we got an offer, not double, but 54% premium. We got an offer to increase the share price by 54% and we said no to it. It's a very difficult conversation. Parag's one guy, there are millions of shareholders because Twitter is a public company, and having to answer to those people must be a nightmare. So I pity the guy, and Elon is, he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing, and even though he says it's not a threat, it's definitely a threat. So we will keep unraveling this drama as it happens on the internet, and you will also learn why it's important to have the right kind of investors, and sometimes why it's a smart idea not to get very famous people onto your cap table.